In today's study, we're going to talk about rates. So in the previous lesson, we talked about ratio. Ratio is a comparison of two quantities without units. So it's like comparing two numbers. However, a rate is very similar to it, but it's a little different. It's a comparison of two different quantities with units, with different units. So for example, like you're doing two different numbers, like miles and hours. They're two different units. And you have to label it. Make sure you label it. It's very important you label these. Let's see, feet and second, dollars and number of ounces. Did I do miles per hour yet? Miles and hours, all kinds of stuff. Laps per minute. So a unit rate is a rate that is written as a fraction so that it has a denominator of 1. Often with unit rates, you'll see the word per used. Like, again, dollars per magazine. So how much will it cost for each magazine? Miles per hour. How many miles do you drive for each hour? Heartbeats per minute. How many heartbeats for every unit, for every minute, and so on. So per means divide to find 1 unit. So per, very important word. When I see that word, I know automatically I need to divide. Just like the word of. When you see the word of, it means multiply. Like for example, I use 1/4 of 6 buckets of. Multiply those. I use 3 groups of 9 cartons. I ran half of 8 laps, which is 4. So a rate, comparison of two different quantities with different units. Unit rate is comparison of two different quantities with different units, but the denominator has a 1 in it because you're finding how much for per unit. So now if the rate involves money like $20 per DVD, then the unit rate is called a unit price. To find a unit price, it's cost per unit or cost for every unit. So you're dividing. So unit price is just like unit rate, but it involves money this time. $36.60 for 4 tickets. So how much will it cost for each ticket? So I divide this number by 4. I divide this number by 4. Each ticket will cost $9.15, or the unit price is $9.15, or the cost per unit is $9.15, or per ticket is $9.15. And from this, you can find different quantities. Like, if I know each ticket costs $9.15, I can find how much will 3 tickets cost. I can find how much 7 tickets cost. I can find 13 tickets cost by multiplying. So, where also do you see unit price? You know, when you go to grocery shopping, I challenge you to go to a grocery store. What happens if you see a sign like this? $1.80 for 4 ounces, or $2 for 5 ounces. Which one is a better buy? Because on the label, whenever you go grocery shopping, there's always like on the corner it says how much it costs per ounce. It's called a unit. That's a unit price. I don't know if you realize that. So, and I always use that to comparison. Like whenever I go to like Walmart or something, I always compare like the different brands. I say, okay, it's Great Value brand going to be cheaper than the name brand. Of course, it is generic. And I always like comparison of two prices. So, for example, if I spent $2 for 5 ounces, what is the cost per ounce? Oh, per. Divide. Cost. Unit price. So, I want to know how much it costs for 1 ounce. So, how do I turn this? I divide by 5. I divide by 5. How many 5s go into $2? Or $2 divided by 5 is 40 cents. So it costs 40 cents for every ounce, or per ounce. That's unit price. So $1.80. So it's $1.80 for 4 ounces. I would like to know the unit price, or per ounce. How much will each ounce cost? So I need to divide this by 4. Divide this by 4. So $1.80 divided by 4 is 4. That's 16, 20. That's 45 cents. So which one is cheaper? If I buy something for $2 and it's 5 ounces, that's 40 cents an ounce. While if I pay $1.80 for 4 ounces, that's 45 cents an ounce. So of course, this one is a better buy. This one is cheaper because I found a unit price. So let's try a couple stuff. So there's a package of 6 crackers that consists of 246 calories. So here's the package of cracker. There's 246 calories. How many calories are in each or one cracker? So I'm going to practice do bar diagram. Through pictures. Draw a bar diagram to represent 246 calories. Here you go. Divide the bar diagram into 6 equal sections to represent 6 crackers. So divide this into 6 equal sections. Let's label it while we're at it. This one is 1 cracker. If you don't mind, I'm going to abbreviate CR. This is 1 cracker. This is 1 cracker. This is 1 cracker. This is 1 cracker. And this is 1 piece of cracker. So we have 6 crackers here. 246 calories. I would like to know each cracker. I would like to know how many calories are in this cracker. Let's see. Oh, there's like groups here. Divide. So 246 calories for 6 crackers. I would like to know how many calories are there in 1 cracker. So I'm going to divide this by 6, divide this by 6. What is 246 divided by 6? Let's see. Can 6 go in 2? 0 times. Can 6 go in 24? 4 times. Can 6 go in 6? 1 time. So each cracker has 41 calories. This cracker has 41 calories. This cracker has 41 calories. 41 calories. 41 calories. 41 calories. So if you combine them, there are 246 calories in 6 crackers. What if I ask you this question? How many, if you had 2 crackers, how many calories? 41 plus 41 is 82 calories. So some people like this do the bar diagram, do pictures. So determine the number of calories in 1 cracker. 41 calories per cracker. 41 calories per cracker. A body of, here's another picture, bar diagram. A bottle of body wash costs $2.88 and contains 12 ounces. Find the unit price. How much does each cost? How much does it cost per ounce? So this is $2.88. Let's draw this. 1 OZ, ounce. Did you know ounce, the origin of the word comes from, and if you speak Spanish, it's onzas. Onzas mean ounce in Spanish. So that's where it comes from. Just like pounds. Pounds, LB. So I think it's all had to do with Latin. But pounds come from libras. In Spanish, it's libras. There's always wonder, why is it pound PD? And why is it LB? Well, I think as it comes through its Latin origin from ancient Rome. So let's see if I drew 12 ounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, let's imagine I drew this equally. I didn't do a very good job here. Imagine each part is equal. So how much will each ounce cost? So I know there are 12 groups here. So it's $2.88. And I remember unit price defined as cost per unit. So how much will 1 ounce cost? Dividing it into 12 groups. Dividing it into 12 groups. So what's $2.88 divided into 12 groups? Or 12 ounces. So each ounce. So 0, can 12 go to 28? 2 times. Okay, and 12 go to 48? 4 times. So each ounce costs 24 cents. So that's the unit price. And from this, you can buy so many things. What if I ask you, how much will 3 ounces cost? 24 is, I believe, 72 cents. So many questions you can ask through this. Next one. Travis drove 130.5 miles in 3 hours. I don't know, is that a lot? We'll find out. He drove at a constant speed. How many miles did he drive in 1 hour? That means he did not take a potty break. So he just kept driving at the same cruise control. I love that when I go long distance driving. How many miles did he drive in 1 hour or per hour? So we're looking for unit rate again. So we know he drove 135 miles in 3 hours. I would like to know how much he drove in 1 hour. So looking at this bar diagram, there are 3 groups of hours. So I need to find each hour. So it looks like I need to divide by 3. Divide by 3. So what's 130.5 miles divided by 3? 0 goes in 4 times. This goes in 3 times. This can go 5 times. So each hour he drove 43 5/10 mile. 43.5 miles. 43 5/10 mile until he reaches 130 5/10 mile. So if you ask like 2 hours, how much he drove in 2 hours, that'll be 43, 40 would be 86, 5/10, 87 miles. If you had to ask that question. And let's look at our next screen. The table below shows the distances and time it took 4 bus drivers to transport children to Camp Hope from 4 different cities. So we have these 4 individuals, different hours and distances. What does the expression 188 divided by 4 mean? Oh, it means miles, 188 miles, 4 hours. Write an expression to find the distance Mrs. Mills travels in 1 hour. So where's Mrs. Mills? Here's Mrs. Mills. So she drove 168 miles in 3 hours. So another way to write this is 168 mile divided by 3 hours. So I would like to know how much she drove in 1 hour. The unit rate again. 1 hour. So if we could draw the bar diagram, we know that it's 168 miles. There are 3 hours, which we're going to find each group. So, let's divide by 3. Divide by 3. 168 divided by 3 is, after we go to 18, 56 miles. So Mrs. Mill drove 56 miles in 1 hour, or miles per hour. Which driver's rate is 63 miles per hour? Show all work. Well, I know Mrs. Mill drove too slow. If I had to take a guess, I'm going to try Miss Holloway. So Mrs. Holloway drove 315 miles in 5 hours. I would like to know how many miles you drive per hour. Per mean divide. I'm going to divide by 5, divide by 5. 315 divided by 5 is 63. So Mrs. Holloway drove 63 miles per hour, or 1 hour. So she is the best bet. So which driver rate is 63 miles per hour? So we wanted to find the unit rate. And the last screen. At the farmer's market, Farmer Brown sells tomatoes at 5 pounds for $7. Farmer Jones sells his tomatoes at 4 pounds for $6. Find the unit price for Farmer Brown. What's the unit price? Let's go back to our notes. Oh, cost per unit. Oh, yeah. So $7 for 5 pounds. I would like to know, remember, unit price is finding the denominator 1. I would like to know how much each pound costs. Divide by 5, divide by 5. What is $7 divided by 5? That is $1.40 a pound. That's expensive for tomatoes. Tomatoes are usually 79 cents. Roman tomatoes. Find a unit price for Farmer Jones. So Farmer Jones sells $6, but you get only 4 pounds less. Let's see. I want to find out how much each pound cost. So I could draw a picture, a bar, a rectangle, and I know it's $6 for all of this, and I divide into 4 groups, but I'm not. So I know I can divide this by 4 groups. What is $6 divided into 4 groups? That looks like $1.50. Oh, he's more expensive. Dang, that must be organic tomato or something. So so I think Farmer Brown is cheaper because he only sells $1.40 per pound of tomato, while Farmer Jones is $1.50 per pound. Suppose Mr. Jones wants to buy 8 pounds of tomatoes for Tyra's spaghetti dinner with Farmer Brown and Farmer Jones. Which farmer has the better price of tomatoes and by how much? So I know each pound of tomato for Farmer Brown, BR, is $1.40. And if I buy 8 pounds of it, because I'm multiplying, so so I know $1.40 pounds, $1.40 costs $1.40 for 1 pound, and I want to buy 8 pounds of it. So I know each pound costs $1.40. 1 pound to 8 pounds, I need to multiply by 8. So $1.40 times 8, 32 carry 3, that'd be $11.20 for 8 pounds. Or again, we could draw a picture of it, because you know each pound costs $1.40. $1.40, $1.40, $1.40, $1.40, $1.40, till you reach $11.20. That's Farmer Brown. However, for Farmer Jones, we know it costs, the unit price is $1.50 for 1 pound. I want to buy 8 pounds of it. Each pound costs $1.50. If I buy 8 pounds, I need to multiply by 8. So $1.50 times 8 would be $12 for 8 pounds. So, which farmer has the better price? Well, Farmer Brown only costs $11.20. How much will I save compared to the other one? Well, if this costs $12 and this costs $11.20, I will save 80 cents. So the answer for this one would be Brown by 80 cents. So what did we mostly learn today? We learned something called rates. Rates are comparing 2 different quantities with units. And what we mostly really learned was unit rate and unit price. Unit rate is how much will each unit cost. Same thing with unit price, but unit price is with dollar amount. So each one. After you find a unit rate and a unit price for each unit, then you can find a multitude of answers. Like for example, this one. We know each pound costs $1.50. From this, we can know how much 3 pounds cost, 4 pounds, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 pounds. So unit rate is very important.